Welcome to SMAC, home of the SMAC. May I take your order?
Hey there, hi there, hello there. Welcome to an all-new episode of Talking Smack, where we talk superheroes, movies, animation, comics, and much, much more. I am your host, Josh Scar, and joining me, as always, is me, myself, and I, as well as Alex. Alex, how are you doing today?
I am feeling like a Kryptonian on a red sun. Just the heat, the humidity, the free whiskey hanging out next to me. How about you?
I'm feeling like a Kryptonian on a green sun, man. I feel Kara in that sense. Like, it's been a shitty couple of weeks for me in my household. Like, had to record a podcast on my own last week.
I
It
know.
was not great.
I know.
The worst thing that could ever happen to me.
I know. I saw the runtime and I was like, "Oh wow!"
I was flailing, man. I was like a fish out of water. I don't have someone to bounce off of, and I was just like, I liked the movie. It was okay. It was good. I'm scared.
Yeah, just like, listen, I liked it. It was fine. Here's 7 promos so I can get to 10 minutes.
I actually recorded for close to 20 minutes, but I cut a lot of rambling, and there were some like silences where it's just like, my brain stopped working because I'm by myself and I don't have anyone to bounce ideas off of. I am codependent. I don't have the thing that like Stefan has over at Nerd Ranks where he can just go on his own. I don't have that. I really kind of wish I had it, but at the same time, like, I don't think I can do what he does in an interesting way.
I started listening to while I work. I typically listen to podcasts, and when I catch up, I listen to music. But I was just not feeling music last week, and I started listening to some like typically the podcasts I listen to. They have a topic or a reason for existence, like Talking Smack. But or they they're interviewing.
We have
guests,
a reason to exist.
Yes, because we talk smack. Trademark. So I started listening to a few people who like do solo ones just about like whatever comes to mind or news of the week. And I started realizing I can't listen to them at one speed. I can't listen to them at like 1.25. I have to do 1.5 or 2x because they repeat themselves so much. Because you can tell they're like pausing for laughter, and they do that comedian thing where they then partially repeat their last line and keep going. I'm like, no, you need a co-host. You need direction. How the hell do you fill 80 minutes 3 times a week? And I abandoned my plan to listen to solo podcasts.
It's a talent. It's a talent to
yeah.
carry a conversation on by yourself and
Mhm.
do it well. Andy Herman, like we're not talking Packers, but like Andy Herman of the Pack a Day podcast is someone who does a daily podcast on his own talking about the Packers for minimum 45 minutes at a time. I don't know how anyone can do that
I don't
without
either.
rambling and just going off on tangents that make no sense and just being like, yeah, like, the thing.
When you start saying like, okay, this, like, oh, in training camp, this reminds me of training camp of 1837, back when the leather pads were around. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, how do you remember that? Is there somebody like feeding you stat lines off or something? Now let's just enjoy the silence for 20 minutes. Let's
Well, while
see
we
how
sit in
we do
silence,
it.
you can listen to the Super Familiar with the Wilsons promo. And when we come back, we will talk Supergirl. We'll be right back.
The Super Familiar with the Wilsons podcast. You know that family whose house you hung out in when you were a kid? The house was a little loud and chaotic, but always fun, and sometimes felt more home than home. Well, that's us.
We're the Wilsons, and we welcome you into our podcast with silly chat, ridiculous games, and interviews with interesting people.
Like a spin doctor. The Super Familiar with the Wilsons podcast.
Welcome home.
Whenever I hear Two Princes by the Spin Doctors, I always get a little like, not even just like the nostalgia tickle that you sometimes get. You're like, oh yeah, I remember driving in the car with my parents and hearing that song and just having fun. I remember when they did the parody of their own song on Sesame Street, and we're singing about like sharing tennis rackets with our friends.
Oh yeah.
I just was like, now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, Josh Wilson over at Super Familiar with the Wilsons is friends with the Spin Doctor. Like they're texting buddies. They share poetry with each other. I am like 2 degrees from Kevin Bacon in a sense with the Spin Doctors, and I think that's really cool.
I think that's really cool too.
It's very cool to know someone that knows a Spin Doctor. And there's a thing in How I Met Your Mother where I think it's in like season 4 where Sarah Chalke is a recurring guest star and Ted's going to like they're engaged and his future sister-in-law is about to get married in this like remote vegan island, and she gets stood up at the altar, or like someone cheats on her, I guess. And Ted and Sarah Chalke's character are going to take over the wedding. Everyone in Ted's immediate group is like, oh God, there's no alcohol. Ted's about to get married. We need to find a way to get drunk. And worst of all, I think the guy over at the counter there was the lead singer of the Spin Doctors. It's like, that's uncalled for. That's so rude.
Oh man, every time I'm reminded of that show, I get so briefly happy of how sharp and powerful the writing was for 8 seasons. And then I remember the last season.
Then season 9. It's like Game of Thrones, but Game of Thrones was 2 seasons.
Yep. There's nothing wrong with the Spin Doctors. They're fine.
Spin Doctors are fun. It's fun 90s pop rock. It's fine. It's good stuff. You can have fun. Have fun with things, people. God.
It's okay to
Alex, let's have fun.
Okay, what are we having fun with?
Not Supergirl, god damn it. I don't know why. So I'm just diving straight into this. Supergirl is fine. It is absolutely fine. My problem with this movie is I don't know who this movie is for. Other than James Gunn probably was like, Supergirl is the bottom of the toy chest character that I want to play with. No grossness intended. He just loves the toys at the bottom of the toy chest. He doesn't like the Superman. He doesn't like the Batman. He doesn't like the Green Lanterns, the Flashes. He likes the bottom of the toy bin, which is why we're getting a Clayface movie, which is why we're getting a lot of really weird stuff in these movies. Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl. This movie is adapted from a very good Tom King run.
Ooh, I actually heard that it wasn't very good. That people didn't like
the Tom King, the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic book is phenomenal. Like it's
really?
It's the reason it's like the definitive modern Supergirl story.
Oh, I had heard the fan reception for it wasn't very good.
I think the initial like response to it was like, what the hell? But like Tom King is like a slow burn kind of storyteller. So like by issue 8 and 9, like people were like, oh, I see where he was going with this. And then you have like 3 more issues to go. Over time, it has become like a quintessential Supergirl story. Whereas this is borrowing elements from it, but it really feels like it's just there to bandy over it's not a continuity error, but like the continuity idea that people had of Kara being like, hey, your parents were dicks. Like, why are you worshiping them? Again, we're just diving into spoilers because I don't know how much of this movie we can talk about without spoiling it. The way they bandy over that is from Superman, where we find out that Jor-El sent Kal-El, Superman, to Earth to spread his Kryptonian seed, is that Kara wasn't even alive when Krypton exploded. She was born 8 years after. And that's how they get away with the time dilation stuff. They don't do any of that where she was sent off at the same time as Clark. She got caught in a time vortex, and then she showed up and it had been 30 years later. In this one, she gets sent to Earth. She arrives in like a few years, and Superman is Superman. But she never knew Jor-El. Her dad never, like, I guess talked about him in a way that was like, yeah, he was weird. Like, he really wanted to like dominate another world. Like, none of that. It's just, I don't know what this movie set out to accomplish, and I don't know who it's for. Because if you can find out who a movie is for, like who their intended audience is, you can kind of like put yourself in that perspective and enjoy the film. I really can't with this. I don't know. This isn't for young girls. Like I took my oldest daughter to see this. She thought it was fine as well. She didn't have fun with it. She liked, Amelia,
Millie Alcock.
Millie Alcock. Thank you. I was just going to call her Millie Alcock. She liked her as Supergirl. I think she does a very fine performance, a very good performance, solid performance. But there's nothing to this movie. There's no heart. There's no message that I really walked away from. I really don't know. But Alex, how about you? How did you feel about this movie?
I hated this movie. I was so angry and bored at this movie because of the potential that it had. But I realized, so my basic narrative problem with this film is I hate movies where the protagonist issues are caused by themselves and they don't pay for it. So I can forgive the friend she picks up along the way.
Is it like
Ruth.
Riley or something like that? Ruthie.
Ruthie, yeah. Ruthie's parents caused their problem. The bad guy shows up. I mean, yes, you can argue, oh, he was going to kill them and take the weapons anyway, but they seem to be appeasing him, giving him what he wanted. And then the dumbass brother who's like 16, who just sees his sister standing stock still in a hallway for 10 minutes, jumps out, shouts boo, which the bad guy, objectively, is going to see someone scream and jump from a corner, is killed. And then the mom's decision is to scream and grab a knife, go for him, so he ends up killing the people and taking the weapons anyway. Apparently, he also never looks right again because there's a girl standing there, which is a weird thing when you find out their motives in life later, that he just leaves someone standing there. I'm assuming he's
they're a Morton Joe.
Yeah,
they're a Morton Joe. They want to have brides.
I hate that because when that got revealed midway through the movie, I realized Hollywood only has one storyline for female heroes. Fury Road is about that. Black Widow is about that. The objective of her movie is to free all the captive.
I didn't even think about that.
And then this movie's about it.
Yeah,
they have no story. They have no direction other than if this is a female-led property, it must be about sexual slavery. And I hated it because I'm like, this fell back to what we talked about last year, where I was like, does Superman have one storyline that Lex Luthor must apparently do a land grab? Like, how many times are we gonna do this? And now then it turns out this story. So that annoyed me. I'm like, okay, the family caused a problem. That's not her fault. But I now hate Crypto with a passion. I hate that dog because she had that dog for a little while on Krypton and seemed to be suggesting that she's a good person from a good family. She could have been raising it and training it correctly. But I understand dogs, you have to constantly reiterate and give them proper training and stuff. But when you have the dog, which was kind of cute and annoying in Superman, I'm like, okay, he doesn't really pay attention and like listen to Clark. Okay, fine, that's fine.
Yeah, you're not my owner. Why would I listen to you, kind of thing.
But to start the movie off with letting us know the tempo of this movie and its theme is going to be piss on Superman, literally starting off with Crypto pissing on Superman, and then all the problems he causes her, and her problem is caused by her not teaching Crypto how to be listen to her at all. Crypto has no training, no listening, no objective, doesn't obey her at all, so he gets hurt, which goes to the James Gunn trope of every movie I have to hurt a dog in some way. I have to hurt an animal. I have to set birds on fire in Suicide Squad. And Superman, I have to, Crypto gets beat up. And now in this one, Crypto has just spent the entire movie
brainwashing monkeys.
Yep. And so I'm like, okay, I now hate you. I hate the Crypto dog because he doesn't learn anything. I hate Supergirl because she put her dog in a situation where he gets injured because he is vulnerable because he's on a red sun planet with her and is not trained. You don't think someone's eventually going to kick your dog when you're literally, your dog's mission in life is to apparently destroy anything you like, including in a bar, ripping things off of walls and damaging jukeboxes? Like I hated that, and especially then the end of the movie ends with a terrible joke of, "Crypto, don't eat that. Oh, stop him, Supergirl. He's eating all the
Him eating
chocolate."
chocolate means nothing. It means absolutely nothing with his Kryptonian DNA. Like,
Well, I
he's
don't
on
know
a
that.
planet with a yellow sun.
Yeah, but I don't know that because apparently it's super. Now we've established in these movies that being Superman, Supergirl doesn't matter at all because they are every villain just looks at you and apparently knows 6 different ways that they can incapacitate you. Because she gets incapacitated by poison for a while, and then she gets incapacitated by the sun changing, and I'm like, now there's a green sun, and there's a dart that shoots kryptonite because apparently kryptonite is just the most apparently other than Earth is the most mineable thing in the entire galaxy, and I was very, 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 very underwhelmed by this movie's ability to let a superhero be a superhero. Instead, they just kept introducing ways to limit her powers and to incapacitate her while also not teaching her a lesson. And I just gave up on the movie right around the Morton Joe thing. Immodem Joe, whatever his name is. I gave up when that was revealed. I was like,
Immortan, like
yeah.
almost like immortal, but
Yeah.
Immortan.
And I was just like, I'm done.
I can't disagree with most of what you said. I think that this movie is really directionless. Like, it was just meant to introduce Millie Alcock as Supergirl in a different way. And even the villain Krem, like, there's potential with what he is, because there's a point where they're on the planet that's like been destroyed by nuclear fallout, and they apparently there's like no women left. There's only uh men, and any women that show up, they get stolen away by these guys. And there is like a woman who works at a bar with her husband, and that's one of the reasons why apparently she hasn't been taken, is because she's married. They honor the marriage vows, I guess.
That kind of made me laugh my ass off.
They trick Kara and Ruthie to come back to their house with her, and or with them, husband and wife. The wife at some point was like, just let Krem deal with her. He's as strong as 1,000 men. Like, she has no chance against him. And then we see Kara fight with him like 3 more times after that. And even when she's poisoned with the stuff that Crypto is poisoned with, she's holding her own. And then when we get to the final fight where she faces off with him like 2 separate times, there's a point where she's like punching him in the face, and he's not really reacting. And I'm like, okay, something interesting is going to happen. And then nothing, like something else pushes her away from Krem. And then she has her last fight with him. And again, like, she's just dominating. He has no offensive capabilities against her other than the kryptonite dart that he shoots her with. And then he sneaks a poison on her earlier. Like, that's it. That's his offensive game plan, even though they've set him up as someone who's as strong as 1,000 men. But there's nothing that they show that follows suit with what they've told us. And he just becomes uninteresting because the only thing he is then is a really bad Mad Max side character.
And the 2 MacGuffins that drive this movie forward are Ruthie is 12, I think 12, and she wants to
12 or 13.
Yeah, and she wants to avenge her family. So as soon as her family all dies, she grabs like the last remaining sword from her father's stash because her father makes these amazing weapons and has been teaching her.
It's the family sword. Like, it's like the most important sword that he's ever made.
And she walks into a bar on a red planet, because that's where her planet is, and gives this very terrible speech, which, I mean, come on, she's like 13. She doesn't know how to rally the troops. And so her thing is she wants to kill Krem. And then because of the way their lives ended up entwining, Supergirl wants to as well kill Krem or get back at him for the antidote, because they always carry the antidote on the person of the virus that is going to kill Crypto in 72 hours. That sounds like a good premise. I actually enjoyed that. But Krem is nothing. The more interesting villains of this movie are the hijack villains, the tech ones that stop the international the intergalactic bus. They are interesting. Those are the kind of like interesting. They look directly out of Guardians of the Galaxy, especially their design. And they're fascinating. They just want to hijack things, and they take all tech, and then they like to telegram teleport hologram in. I actually thought they weren't actually there when because of like the animation, the CGI of them landing, that special effect of them landing in the ship as it's starting to be torn apart for tech. I thought they were just going to be holograms because to me, it reminded me too
there's
much.
a really interesting effect.
Yeah. And then there's a cool fight scene. You finally see Supergirl fully powered up for that, which I thought was good. I enjoyed the smugness of Supergirl when she knows she's, fully empowered by the Yellow Sun. I enjoyed that part. But they were more interesting of what their life is, why they have tech, why they go after this. Their design was more interesting. Their fight was more fascinating. I enjoyed the teleport through the ship sideways awkwardly because Supergirl doesn't know how to use that. That was a fun fight scene versus just mano a mano punch in the face for a few minutes until one of you stops moving. That happens with Krem. However, I then got completely pissed off with that because I finally heard the little voice of the little squeaky guy talking of the ship's the ship's co-pilot, fucking Seth Rogen. I was like,
it took me a couple lines to be like, is that Seth Rogen? But you didn't get the
we did not, which was good. And I was like, oh. Yeah,
I did like him being a little overzealous, where he's like, we make a good team, you and me. We should, next time we do that, we should do, a little something different.
Yeah, that was amusing, but I was really out of the movie when I realized that Supergirl's agency, when I realized that Supergirl wasn't actually going to learn a lesson. That's when I stopped really caring, because they want to set her up as she's down on her luck. She's celebrating her 23rd birthday. And we are expecting oh yeah, we're carrying the knowledge and the baggage going in of she's, like you said, the time displacement, all that stuff of why she shows up without that influence of those good old people from Kansas. But when they start telling us her backstory, that Clark was kicked off 10 years before she was born, so there is an actual 10-year age gap, and they double down on Clark's Kryptonian parents being dicks, I was pissed, because I firmly was in the camp that it wasn't distortion, that it was AI CG bullshit from Lex Luthor, that Clark was sent to dominate Earth with his super sperm. But no, because her parents are like, man, my brother's kind of a psychopath. Want to do that? That's kind of weird. But I did enjoy that a pocket of Krypton survived. It was kind of like the Time Lords thing. They displaced themselves from their planet. They got put in this little pocket dimension that not dimension, this little pocket temporal field that her father made. And then, or sometime around, I think they said she was 15, 16, they started all to die because the kryptonium that was in the crust,
kryptonite happened.
And affected the
Earth
fields.
had gotten the explosion of Krypton had irradiated the soil, and they were all going to slowly die of radiation.
Yeah,
and they even dubbed it kryptonite.
Yeah,
and I thought that was a little heavy-handed, but I was like, okay, I mean, at least they're acknowledging that kryptonite affects Kryptonians even while they're under the red sun.
Yeah, I like that, especially when they had the band Three Doors Down show up to play the song in the middle of all that. I'm sorry. You said kryptonite.
They like the Orange Con Man. I can't listen to that song anymore. And didn't the lead singer die?
Oh shit, did he? Oh, I feel bad now.
Either he did, or he just might as well have, because he's a Trump supporter. Let's find out.
Oh no, he's dead. Yeah, he died from kidney again. Man, a lot of the people have died in that band. I thought it was 2 years ago. Oh, they announced it last year that he was dying from it, then metastasized, and then it sucks. At least we had at least we had 2.5 good albums.
We had one hit, made him some money.
But So I enjoyed that aspect, and then that her father's like, listen, I don't know how well your cousin's doing
David
over there.
Krumholtz, by the way. Good to see David Krumholtz in something.
Oh yeah, he looked familiar. What is he from?
He is Bernard from the Santa Claus movies, and he was also the creepy tech guy in Serenity with the Buffy doll.
Oh yeah, I know him best from Numbers.
Yep.
And
that would be a CBS show that I did not watch.
and Goldstein from the Harold and Kumar. That's right. Oh, it's right. He's also the kind of like semi-nice love interest from 10 Things Ahead About You.
Oh yeah. He's the buddy. He's Joseph Gordon-Levitt's buddy, where he keeps like trying to convince him that he's not good enough for Alex Mack.
I mean, true. Yeah, but I didn't recognize him with that Kryptonian beard thing going.
He's got the beard, the receding hairline, like
yeah. So that to me brought me out of it a little bit, because they seem to suggest that Supergirl was sent in the last like 2 or 3 years to Earth. I mean, the timeline's a little fuzzy. So I'm not sure I buy growth, because they never showed. I mean, yes, they showed her sorrow of watching her mother die and the last of the Kryptonians die, and then her landing on Earth and having to figure out how to communicate with Clark. But I needed to know what caused that full swing. What caused her from seemingly having good instilled values to become the angry drunk, doesn't give a care, let my dog get hurt that she has become. That is the plot point I'm missing that I needed explained to me, because
her trauma is it's very. I really don't know how to explain her trauma. Like it's understandable. She was cast off from Argo City, which is a nice callback to the Supergirl movie from 1986.
Oh,
but
I didn't catch that. That's cool.
Yeah, they had named the city Argo, or Argos. I can't remember, but that's where Helen Slater's Supergirl was, in like a pocket dimension with not Peter Sellers. Peter O'Toole, that's who it was. The true villain of that movie. He's messing around with their power source, and he's just like, watch this. And he just throws it out a dimensional portal, and Supergirl has to go get it. But anyway, her trauma is just caked into her character as is. Like she didn't watch her planet die. I guess she watched her planet die because everyone's dying of radiation poisoning, and they kick her out before she gets sick. And they save her that way, and they send her off to Earth to go be with Kal-El. And so, like, I understand, like, yeah, that's traumatizing, especially when she's like, no, I'll stay and I'll die next to you. And her parents are like, no, that's not what we want. You're gonna live. You are going to live for all of us. And like, I understand that's traumatizing. However, there's ways that you can continue to deal with that trauma that are interesting thematically. And in this, it's just, she's depressed and she's roaming from red sun to red sun drinking. And then when she's had too much, she'll find a yellow sun, recover, wash, rinse, repeat. And Superman chimes in a few times early on where he's just like, hey, Kara, you need to find your people. And I hope that's here on Earth, and we can hang out, and we can talk about Krypton and just be whatever we need to be for each other. And she's just like, no, thank you. I'd rather drink myself, and like, not to death, but like, I'd rather drink myself through this depression. And there's no thesis, there's no theme to this, and there's no moral growth either for Kara. Like, if there's a thesis statement, they say it in the trailer several times, where she says, Clark sees the good in everyone, I see the truth. Which again has no bearing in any of this, because she keeps trying to tell Ruthie that she can't kill Krem because it's not going to take the pain away. How does she know this? She can't take revenge on anything, because who is she going to revenge? She's also very okay with just killing people because they needed a Superman who can kill, and Kara makes that work. And so, like, there's no catharsis to anything she does. When she kills Krem, There's no big like crescendo. Again, to steal Justin's word of the day, I just there nothing feels satisfactory about her journey. Like, is it because she ends up on the planet that's between the green and yellow sun and she almost dies from the radiation from the green sun? And she's like, yeah, dying sucks. I guess I'll live. Like, that's not a great theme. That's not a great lesson. But she's trying to save Ruthie from herself. But Ruthie isn't really in danger of anything other than being kidnapped and being forced into
I mean, that is
human
bad.
sex trafficking. Like, yeah, like, then keep Ruthie safe. Like, that's
Yeah.
should be her job. And she's like, there's worse shit out there for you than what you think could happen if you get caught by these guys. There's things that can go way worse. Like, have that be her mission.
Yeah.
Like, she's ambivalent towards everything. She's like, I'll go stop this guy, whatever. And then she like learns to like Ruthie as a person and love her in a certain way. But none of that really seems to come through. And then when she comes back to Earth, she's like, I think I'll stay a while. Like, maybe it's time to finally like settle in for a long haul, which, like, after the adventure she went on, doesn't feel like she's doing it out of like altruism or in an attempt to try and be good. She's doing it almost feels more like she's doing it because she's like, man, I almost died several times because I was not under a yellow sun. I don't think I want to leave under a yellow sun anytime soon.
Yes, I got that same feeling out of it, that there hadn't been a progression. It's more that she doesn't want to be somewhere where she can be vulnerable, which maybe that is going to eventually be her storyline going on. But the attempt towards the end of being the person who bears like Ruthie's sins or doesn't work, because we already know she's objectively not a great person. And her and Ruthie don't really bond at all until she ends up on that final planet that alternates between green and yellow suns. She straight up abandons Ruthie time again, and Ruthie's just really great at being a stowaway, which props to her for that. I appreciated that. It's like, you are scrappy. I like that. But when it came to the ending of her stopping Ruthie from killing Krem because, you don't want that burden and sending her away, I never got the feeling that she was taking on the burden of, I'll make sure he dies. Like, I think that if it needed to be in a more powerful statement, or maybe it was the direction's fault, because one of my favorite ways that is done in movie is, well, no, actually, it's a TV show called The Expanse. It's where Amos is helping, the crew is helping these people get away from these bad guys and that have murdered some family members, and the person finally is about to kill the bad guy, the one who's been inflicted and wounded this entire time, and he has pointed the gun at the bad guy and he's shaking, and Amos steps in and says, you can't do this. You're not that guy. You're not him. And he sends him away. And the guy's like crying, like knowing that even though this is the guy who killed his family, who hurt everything, he couldn't bring himself to kill them. And as the door, the ship doors close, Amos turns and looks at the guy and says, but I am that guy. And he kills him. I wanted something a little bit more than that. I wanted something that lets me know that this Supergirl is willing to go to perhaps the extremes that Kal-El is not. But her journey through this film is that she is already at that extreme. Like you said, she kills people, she lasers them, she throws them into people. She has no problems excessively using her powers, unlike in Superman, which we got, David Cornsweats, who is going, can you guys stop killing people? We could have taken this creature to the intergalactic zoo. There was those moments where he set that up. So it's like they were trying to tell us that she's different when we already know she's different. That's part of the reason I didn't buy it. But I did want to point out something I actually enjoyed about this movie. There's two primary things. One, David Cornsweat is an amazing Superman. He has the Kansas good boy down on his luck. I just want to bond with my family member. Those pathetic video voicemails he was leaving were great. when she returns to Earth at the end and they're back in his apartment, I was like, I got that joy of like, man, this guy is a good Superman. He is the good boy. I liked it, and I felt that worked. I felt there was that his light and charisma made me like her more than when she was alone. The other thing I really liked was, and I felt really bad for like when I realized I was smiling a little bit, is there's a part where Ruthie gets captured by the Brigadiers, and Lobo, played by Jason Momoa, has somehow also been captured, willingly or unwillingly. And they're interacting with each other. And I loved that. That is the movie I really would have enjoyed. Like, if it had been the three of them working together, I actually think it would have been a lot more fun, because then you would have the juxtaposition of Lobo, who's just an insane asshole, Supergirl, who's a drunk who may or may not be trying to do better by herself, and then Ruthie, who isn't sure who is the person she should be following. But seeing Ruthie come up with a plan and implement it to break them out, I loved that. I was like, finally, this is the movie I thought I was going to see. This is there's a fun, there's a cleverness, there's a joy, there's a charisma, there's an interaction I'm enjoying. I'm really liking this. I feel like, how does Jason Momoa elevate somebody to be better at acting? Because Ruthie, all of a sudden, I'm like, you're good at this. Like, I thought you were just kind of a whiny jerk this entire film, but you actually are elevating the moment here? Like, how is this working?
He wanted to be Lobo. Like, he campaigned to be Lobo for a while. And then Zack Snyder came along and said, I don't know shit about comic books that aren't Batman. Let's make you Aquaman.
My man.
So that point you made about Ruthie, that point actually kind of annoys me, because Ruthie's journey, you would assume she would like become competent. She would have some kind of moment where she's like, I have learned through this journey, even though it's only been 3 days, I've learned something of value to contribute in these fight sequences. The only thing she learns is to get out of Kara's way. There's a really annoying, in the sense that this just seems to be a staple that James Gunn is going to throw into all of these movies, in the climax where there is a slow down action scene set to a cover of The Middle by Jimmy Eat World. I forget who sings it. Like, it's a very fine cover, but it's really weird because Ruthie's just like she's the lowest lane of this point, like there was in Superman. The camera's focused on her. There's all this action going on in the background, and she's just like, Kara's gonna move. I need to get down. And she just like kind of like moves around Kara as Kara's taking out all the bad guys. Ruthie has no agency in terms of getting the upper hand in a fight outside of that escape sequence. Everything else, she is completely dependent and reliant on Kara. And I'm not entirely sure what that accomplishes in terms of her character development. And that's another part of this movie that really bothers me. Like, if I will compliment this movie, it is very competently made. It's a movie. It is by far a passable movie that tells some kind of story, has very good visuals, very good acting, solid acting, but it's missing something. And I think that a big part of what that's missing is heart. And it tries to find it with Kara's parents' death, because when her mom is dying, she's like, just be good. That's all I want you to be, is good. That doesn't mean you have to be a coward. That doesn't mean you have to let people step all over you. That doesn't mean you have to back away from fights. Being good is being good. It's a thing you do. And they kind of put a hat on that, or hang a lantern on it, when Clark shows her his Supergirl suit that he made for her, or had made for her, where he's just like, I know it's kind of bright and silly, but it's to let people know that we're good. And that's when she puts the suit on in the film. That is the moment where she's like, okay, time to do some good. Go save Ruthie, go save the brides, and let's go do this. So like, that's where I think the movie lost something, because I think they meant to show Kara as like inactive. She wasn't going to participate in helping. She's just too depressed. She can't and won't do anything. She's just going from place to place to get drunk, and nothing else matters. If there's someone in trouble, not her problem. But the very first time she's in a public place in this movie, Ruthie shows up, gets her sword stolen, and she's like, God damn it. Okay, hold on, I'll be back. And she gets the sword back. So she's been good from the first moment she has an opportunity. They needed to establish that she was not interested in helping people before we get to the point with Ruthie where she helps. And that's where I think a big part of the heart, the moral, the character growth is missing from this film, because Kara just seemingly is inherently good. She will act and be good when the situation calls for it. She's not actively pursuing the trait of being good like Superman is, but she will do good when it is required of her. And I think that's like the least anyone can do as a person. So it's not really an interesting lesson.
You're right, because I'm trying to think on it, and after she rescues herself for the most part, at the end of that movie, her objective is just to stay out of Supergirl's way. That's all she does. And we get that, like you said, that slowed down music, and that entire time is she's just ducking and weaving and not getting hit by Supergirl, who is rescuing her.
They're not working in unison.
No,
They're not teaming up.
No,
it's just Ruthie getting out of Kara's way.
Yeah. And that actually changes a lot of how I feel about it, because I'm like, well, that is super damn annoying. Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the music, because it reminded me of something. Why does every alien planet in the world play English Earth songs? You have aliens who
I was
apparently
really weirded out when the alien lady started singing "Heaven, I'm in Heaven."
Yeah, that was bizarre. But
they also called English the common tongue.
But she doesn't know it.
It's not even. It's not even the common.
No.
Yeah, it's not even the common tongue on Earth.
No, it's not. I think this is what, like, the fourth most spoken. I think somewhere
something to that effect. Yeah.
Yeah. But I have a question for you. This has been bothering me this entire time, because these
42.
I counted. It was only like twice. Ruthie's parents' super weapons, mythical blades. They landed there. His life's work. They took them all. Yes, I saw that some of the bad guys had them. Do the blades actually do anything? Because I was trying to count, like actually trying to see. I don't think they maybe cut a rope the entire movie with them. I think that was Ruthie who cut something with it. But I was like, for this mythical weapon, I was thinking that they would be like honored. Instead, they keep the swords in the same room as the toilet.
I couldn't say.
Yeah.
I legitimately have no idea what they're going for with, other than it's a way to get Ruthie into action for this film. I don't know. It's
Okay.
They don't say like, oh, it's made out of kryptonite, oh, it's made out of nth metal. They don't do anything to establish other than it is really well made.
Yeah. Okay. I was hoping you had seen something in there that was like, ooh, like, oh, no, you missed it. Oh, no, there was that one part where they were using the blade and it was like slicing through everyone. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, shit, I missed that.
Nope, I don't think they did any. It's just a MacGuffin to get Ruthie's family killed.
Okay. But yeah, Jason Momoa's Lobo, I was actually super surprised by. I was like, I think he finally found his calling. I dig him. David Cornsweet, that was good. But nothing else excited me about this film. I was really been hoping that, like, the moment where Kara and Ruthie inadvertently cause the death of an entire family, that would be like a motivational point that would set them on a path.
That's another James Gunnism that, like, I don't want to say I hated it, but it definitely goes against the type, which, like, this is made by not Connor Gillespie, Mitch Gillespie. I forget Gillespie, something Gillespie, but he's very much just like emulating a James Gunn movie, but he doesn't
Yes.
have like James Gunn has. Usually he finds the heart of a movie somewhere within either the actors or the script. There's usually something that he at least finds a way to wrap the movie around. And this movie just doesn't have that.
Right.
But there are, like James Gunn, as we talked about, like there are he really just revels in wanton violence at times and just carnage and people getting undeservedly mangled. And so usually in a trope like this, I've talked about this before in other things where someone betrays someone. Like my go-to example in this is the Netflix Voltron series. Later in the series, they go back to Earth, and there's a military general who betrays the Paladins to Zarkon and I forget the name of the species at the moment, the aliens. But she betrays them to the aliens in order to save Earth. She's like makes a bargain, like you can have the Paladins, you can have the Lions, just leave Earth, okay? And then obviously the bad guys don't follow through on that. They're like, no, now we have all the power and we're going to take over Earth. And so she did the wrong thing for the right reasons, but as a narrative goes, usually that person has to die to sacrifice to make up for doing the wrong thing.
Right.
And so in this movie, the parents of a girl who was kidnapped offered up Kara and Ruthie to the pirates to get their daughter back. Kara, Ruthie escape, mayhem ensues, battle ensues. The parents get away. The daughter finds a way to get out and starts running away. Actually ends up in a similar place to her parents. I think they even meet up for like a brief moment. And Krem shows up, kills the parents. And then Supergirl sees that he's got the girl, and you're like, oh, she's going to save the girl because the girl did nothing wrong. The only thing the girl did was get caught.
Yeah.
And nope, Kara's been hampered a little bit. She's been poisoned, and now she is too late, and the girl just gets her throat slit and dies.
Yep.
She did nothing wrong, and she's just dead. And it's like, oh, that's not usually how this goes. Okay.
Yeah. I like that you brought up the point about this being a James Gunn movie, because you can tell that they were trying to that James Gunn is basically going to be the stylistic influence for this universe. We're going to have way too many needle drops. Apparently a slow-mo action sequence of some kind where the camera whips and pans around a somewhat stationary person while all the excitement happens. And we're going to have weird jokes that have no punchline. Like the alien creature who's shitting out popcorn. Kara buys it, takes a bite of it, and says, "This tastes like shit," tosses it away. Ruthie looks at it, kind of like sniffs it, and then sets it down. Like, that's not a joke.
I thought it was funny. Honestly,
didn't
that
like
one
it.
that one did get a chuckle out of me because
No.
Millie Alcock, like, yeah, it's not on paper that is not a good line. It is delivered pretty well by Millie Alcock, where they like build it up. She like scoops it out. She's talking through it, and then like they smash cut to her walking into somewhere else. She takes a bite. She's like, this tastes like shit." Like I thought that was pretty good. Craig Gillespie is the director of this,
Yeah.
quote unquote. We'll say quote unquote director. He seems more like he would be a James Gunn protege.
I'm not ready to like write off the whole like gods and universes monster verse or whatever the heck they're calling this. I want to see what Clayface is like. It does make me concerned for Clayface, because if Gunn has said, like, he's thrown a lot of shade at Marvel, saying like, oh, we're not going to shoot movies until we have a perfect script. We're not going to start filming a movie without the script. That's the script we're filming. It's done right then. Unlike the Marvel method, which is go into production, spend 9 months filming, and then 6 months with reshoots, and then hopefully we land this plane right before theaters with a wet print. It does make me concerned for Clayface, because if Clayface has these needle drop moments, has this slow motion thing, has some weird jokes, I am over that. I really am. But the charisma of Lobo, the charisma of David Corenswet, the elevation of those actors around them with Nathan Fillion and Hot Girl and the others, I think can deliver a good product. Superman was a good product. Was it great? No, but it was good. So I'm not going to write things off. Yeah.
Like I said in our review, I think Superman is the best version of that film that James Gunn could have done.
Correct.
I was just looking it up really quickly, and apparently Craig Gillespie directed one of my favorite movies, Lars and the Real Girl, starring Ryan
Really?
Gosling. Yeah, he was the director of that, but that seems like that should be his niche. Like a low drama comedy, not high action drama comedy. It's kind of like Mark Forster jumping over to the James Bond franchise and being in charge of that. Like sometimes you just aren't an action guy. Like maybe stick with the drama, the comedy kind of thing.
Maybe, yeah. Actually, I'm actually a little annoyed because the movie is coming in a lot lower than expected. And by the way, you cannot blame men. I looked at it. 60% of the audience for this is men, so the women didn't show up. Just like the Marvels.
I mean,
the Marvels, the 60% guys showed up. The women didn't show up for that movie. So
I think part of it is the aesthetic just isn't there. This just looks like a knockoff Guardians of the Galaxy,
and it's a very ugly looking film. The
ugly
planets
is
are
the
not
aesthetic.
Interesting. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The planet where Krypto gets shot is just like, oh, that's the Utah desert. Like, okay. And then it's just a bad CGI set or a bad steampunk bar. Like there's nothing extraordinarily visually interesting about any of it. And like the colors aren't even that interesting like they were in Superman. Like the only time the colors really pop is when Superman is on screen.
That's a very good point because like the final battle is on a ship, but it's on a spaceship in the middle of the desert. And there is the yellow sun, so there's some color, but the bad guys are all these dark browns wearing black leather.
Browns, grays, silvers, leather, yeah.
And they immediately crash the ship into the ground, and they're just fighting on a piece of desert. Her, Ruthie's planet is a piece of desert. At one point, Supergirl's like, hey, we're keeping this totally low-kill, a chill thing. We've only been to like 3 planets. So I was like, 3? It's like, desert. Oh, yeah, I guess desert. Yeah, 3. I hope Man of Tomorrow is really good. I really hope.
This isn't a really good shot in the arm. Like it's not going from... It's not even Iron Man going to the Incredible Hulk. Like Incredible Hulk was better than this. Because at least it had stakes of some kind, where I think that's also part of the problem here is that it wants to be a character piece, but it doesn't spend enough time giving us the character development. It's like Kara is, as we said, she's just kind of static until she decides like, I guess I'll put on the suit. But even then, it's not like a triumphant character moment. It's just, I'm not dying from radiation poisoning anymore. I'm going to go save this girl that I now consider a friend because she stowed away and followed me a few times.
Yeah. Do you think Ruthie is coming back? I mean, I'm pretty sure she's going to be grounded by her aunt after spending, a week long, because it ends with her accepting an invitation for a week-long bender with Supergirl.
Yeah. I mean, she'll be Kara's DD or something, maybe. I don't know. I think there's room for Ruthie to come back, but not anytime soon. I think they'll wait for the actress to age up a little bit, or they'll recast at some point.
Yeah.
But I think this movie is fine. But if I had to give it the Talking Smack rating, I would say it's a pass. There's nothing in this that builds upon the DC universe. There's nothing in this that's like, this is the definitive Supergirl moment. This is the definitive Supergirl performance. This is the definitive whatever. Everything you've seen of Jason Momoa's Lobo, the main things you've seen are already in the trailer.
Yeah.
The prison escape scene is nice and it's funny, but that clip will be on the internet in 60 days. You can wait.
Yeah. Speaking of definitive Supergirl, Helen Slater, Sasha Calle, or Millie Alcock. I really like Sasha's
Melissa
performance.
Benoist.
No, you can't. No, this is theatrical only.
Melissa Benoist, damn it.
I like Sasha's performance.
She had bangs.
Her suit looked good. Come on. It looked like a good suit. I love
Melissa Benoist. Yeah, I loved Melissa Benoist's suit.
Shut up. Which one?
You said
went through,
she.
like,
I don't
4.
know I don't know which she you're referring to.
Fine. You can have your win.
Yes.
But yeah, oh, by the way, my rating is pass. Hard pass.
I also haven't seen Flash, which like maybe I don't even know if we'll do a commentary on it because I'm gonna have to sit there and just be quiet and like what the fuck, like what, like that would be my commentary. And Alex is just kind of subtly flipping me off now. He's like,
No,
oh God, how
no,
have
I'm
you
thinking
just
of-
not seen this.
No, I'm thinking of the pain of having to do a commentary on that. I think what would end up happening is we'd be watching that, and I think you and I would just talk about Batman and Batman Returns. And they're like, man, see, Josh, she is a good Supergirl. And then, anyway, Catwoman. Did you know they had to vacuum seal her into her suit, and she could only film like for 5 minutes at a time because she would pass out? Michelle Pfeiffer, you're a legend for that. Did you know? Then they'd be like, hey, Josh, did you know she still has
she went through a year of whip training.
And she still has the whip. It was like an Instagram. It was around the time The Flash came out. They like talked to her about something, and she was like, and they were like filming her in her house, and she was like, I still have the whip. And yeah, she went to her closet and she pulled out the whip, and she started like, I was like, keep that in your closet.
All right, Michelle.
Lucky husband.
We know what you're using that for, yeah.
Did you know it was a real bird in her mouth, Josh? You know, preview of the Flash commentary.
So what did you think of Supergirl? What did you think of Michelle Pfeiffer busting out her whip? Let us know by joining the Discord. Alex, let everyone know about the Discord.
Discord is down below. You can click it. You can click and join it, and feel free to. Oh my gosh! Okay, starting over. It's been long.
The thing's already running. I hit play.
Click the link down below. It's tsmackpod@gmail.com. It's where we have discourse conversations. We post movie news, tributes, and when people pass, and our feelings on stuff. Like, we really like Spider-Man Noir. It's really sad that we haven't recorded an episode about it. So yeah,
maybe we'll double that up with season 2 of Avatar. I think I'm 4 episodes into Spider Noir.
I think I'm about the same. It's like, it's really good, but I keep forgetting to return to it after I finish an episode. And it's like, I get up and do something, and then like 3 days later, oh right, I was watching that.
I don't, it's not a show I can binge. I need time to digest it.
Yeah. It's unexpected, and it's good.
From the producers of Project Hail Mary. So as Alex said, you can click the link below in the episode description to join our Discord. Please follow us on Letterboxd, Blue Sky, Facebook, YouTube at Talking Smack Pod. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're having some issues with YouTube, but we'll figure it out some way or another. Email us at tsmackpod@gmail.com. Thank you to Leo Allen for our musical themes, Beppo for our original avatars, Retro Rail Studios for our Ricky avatar. Please like, subscribe, rate, review on your podcatcher of choice. Leave comments. Let us know what you think. Did you enjoy Supergirl? Please change our minds. Maybe there's something we missed. But Alex, there's a TV show that people should be watching. What is that TV show?
The Pit. It has 2 seasons out. They're filming season 3. Who loves T-Smack?
I love T-Smack. Is it true? Mm-hmm. I do. Ooh.